Mr. Monso. Hey, you guys, what's up? We're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna do the intro music because we gotta jump into it today. We have a special guest, attorney. Girl is that legal. Simone is back with us, and just as we promised you guys, we're gonna talk about some new things that are going on in the world of legal pop culture. We're gonna do some updates on some other stories, and then we're gonna take some call-ins. So let me know when you're ready. Thumbs up. Okay, no problem. Simone is backstage. She's getting everything together for us. And so let me just remind that members will get the link first. So the members, when we're ready to take call-ins, I will post the link first on a members only post on my wall. And then, so you guys will get first crack at questions. And then we're going to drop the link for everybody. So everybody will get an opportunity to participate, but it's a perk to be a member. You get the first crack at it, okay? So good afternoon, everybody. Let me do a quick roll call, and let's see who's in the room, see who's in the building. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Creative Diva, Miss Sharon, Casmine, Quintessential. Hello, baby. What's up? What's up? What's up, you guys? Let me share this out. So we're going to, oh, I'm sorry, Simone. I just saw your text. Oh, sorry, babe. She sent me a text. I just saw it. Okay. You ready? You ready? Okay, you sure? Okay, all right. Hey.
Hey there, how's it going?
It's going great. How you doing today? I see you look like you ready to go to the party or something, girl.
I am. That is exactly what I want to do. I'm gonna take these earbuds out. You can hear me well without them, right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yes. Yes, it feels like a Monday for me. It's just been a little overwhelming, but yes.
Yeah, I know you got a lot going on down there. We talked a little bit. I know you got a lot going on, but I thank you for still being here and being able to, hang out with us for a little while.
Absolutely, girl. Let's talk about it.
Huh?
I said, let's talk about it.
We about to jump right into it. Before I go any further, I want to make one quick announcement. Y'all is in the chat. What's up, Yocrates? I just want to remind everybody that probably immediately when we're done here at 9:15, y'all meet me over at Shakina, Simply Sakina's house. Y'all know the Whether You Like It or Not panel will be going down over there tonight at 9:15. But y'all know we always late. We be on CP time. So y'all get there around 9:20, 25. You be all right, okay? We'll be on. Excuse me. I'm still getting over not COVID, but some other stuff I had going on over here.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Tracy said, can she be nosy first? How's the wedding planning going?
Girl, terrible. Good, but terrible. So I got recently engaged in the end of June, and I just got fired from wedding planning this week. So my fiance, I told him from the beginning.
Well, you said it. You said that you were not gonna be the best person for that job. You said that.
I'm too ADD. I'm too all over the place. This is not going to be good. So I told him, I was like, this is going to be so awesome. This will probably be like the first wedding where a straight man plans it. Yay.
Right.
Like, I'm not planning this. Yeah. But then he was like, look, I'm just going to have to take over. Otherwise, our wedding planner is probably going to quit. Every week you change your mind and had this, that, and the third idea.
So, listen, I'll be looking forward to the vlog. Make sure y'all are vlogging this process. Y'all know that her and her fiance, soon to be husband, they have their own YouTube channel. They do reviews of Ready to Love. For those who do not know, that's where they met. They met on the show Ready to Love, and they will be Ready to Love's first married couple. So I posted y'all last time you were here with the hashtag, and I tagged everybody over to OWN Network and Will Packer and Nephew Tom. I was like, they need a wedding special. What's good? Now, please, I don't know if anybody was listening.
I got it's gonna be me, him, and the pastor and some chicken.
Because I said, I don't know if they listening, but I sure put it out there. Because I do think that they should. I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna get into what we're here for. But I just think that as a show that's a dating show, even though you guys did not walk away as a couple on the show, you met on the show, and y'all built your relationship through that. So Yes, that's right, Miss Baythane. That's the hashtag, ready to wed. So I'm gonna say this again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this one more time, and then we're gonna get out of here. If y'all want to tag and use that hashtag over on Instagram and Twitter, and tag on and tag, nephew Tommy and Will Packer, ready to love, and all of the right hashtags, and let them know they need to get them a wedding special, even if it's just one little episode. Give them a wedding special.
They can even put it on YouTube.
Right. Put it on the YouTube channel. Okay. Put it on the home streaming. But something. Right. Give us a little something, But anyway, so we are here to talk about a couple of cases now. When we get to talking about legal stuff, now my people are like, well, have you talked to Simone? What Simone say? I said, well, you know what? Simone is going to become our official legal analyst for the Really
love to. Yay.
You are our official legal analyst. So we'll have you on here. Like I said, right now we can't commit to a specific day and time, but we will commit to regular. We will commit to some regular, regular stuff. The first case I wanted to talk to you about, and I sent you some of the information, and I don't know how much you were able to get through, but the case of Philly Phil versus Miss Robbie, or Miss Robbie versus Philly Phil, because she's actually suing her. And the reason why, and let me say this before I let you share, the reason why this case hit me the way it hit me is because it's very reminiscent to me of the Tasha K situation. And as a YouTuber, we report things and we're very careful to be like allegedly, or this is my opinion, or I'm not sure. But a lot of times it's important for us as the YouTube community to understand where the line is and what the fall is. Like what's those little nooks and crannies that you fall into that you may not realize you're falling into. Unlike Tasha K, which in my opinion, this is my opinion, I believe her arrogance really was her biggest downfall. In the Philly Phil case, I really think she doesn't understand. Didn't. In the beginning, I don't think she really understood what she had done wrong. Now, she may have clarity on it now. I don't watch her regularly, in full disclosure. But in the beginning, I really don't think she understood. And a lot of her subscribers didn't either. Now, I'm going to let you speak because, again, I ain't nobody's lawyer. So go ahead and what were you able to deduce?
Right. So I tried to pull down the documents, but they're not uploaded on the site yet. But okay, so you guys, the gist of what happened is Miss Philly Phil, she had a guest who was pretty much like an unknown nobody. She was the wife of Miss Robbie's ex-husband's homeboy.
Right.
She is literally nobody's anybody. Okay. And oh girl, it sounded like, by the sounds of her voice, it sounded like she's probably like laid up and stuck in a bed, eating, Cheerios, oatmeal, chocolate chip cookies, and bored with nothing to do but mind other people's business. So she gets on there and she get to telling this story about how basically Miss Robbie's ex-husband was always up in some mess, selling drugs and this and that. But then she goes to accuse Miss Robbie of basically being an accomplice in her grandchild's murder. An accomplice in her grandchild's murder. And even goes, and so the host on the first clip that I listened to, the host is basically just listening. She's hearing this for the first time. And she was like, really? She's just basically allowing her to get out her version and so forth and engaging to get more facts. Like, well, this person know this person and all this business. But so, and that's okay, because you don't have control over somebody else's lives, right? You as a host can't control that. And now I have seen some shows where at the bottom that there's a disclaimer that says the views of the guests are their own. It doesn't depict the views of the show, whatever. But the problem was she let the girl come back and they talked some more. And she was agreeing with her and talking as though this was gospel and as though she had done her own research and verified. And yep, Miss Robbie was involved and that Miss Robbie has something to do with her grandson's death. That's the epitome of defamation. Because defamation is making a public statement about someone that is defamatory, meaning negative, right? And you're doing it either with reckless disregard for whether it's not as true or knowing that it ain't true. Okay. And you
Right.
say it anyway. So after that happened, obviously, Miss Robbie has been really hurt by this because her son basically is up for murder for killing her grandchild and taking a life insurance policy out on him. Which also means her son is very stupid. Like, how terrible would it be for you to have accomplished all this only for your like 40-year-old child to publicly humiliate you, and it becomes clear to the world that you have raised a slow ass grown man who went out and got a $400,000 policy, life insurance policy, on a guy who makes minimum wage, only to kill him.
Right.
So the main reason why she's in big trouble, Miss Philly Phil, is one, before anybody ever files a defamation suit, you send a cease and desist. You send that cease and desist to the person. But Miss Philly Phil ignored it. In fact, I believe she probably took a play from Tasha K's book, which was that Tasha K had around 200K followers prior to the Cardi B suit. Now she has over 1 million.
Over 1 million.
Story already being all over the media. People were like, well, let me see what this crazy lady's over here talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think Miss Thing, who's over in somebody's basement, next to the mold and the mildew, recording whatever she records from her basement, I think when she found out that Miss Robbie was upset, she was like, cool, this will be more publicity for me. Well, that's
because she did get a cease and desist first. She did get one first.
And see, when you ignore that, that goes into court. The jury gets to know that you are now knowingly defaming this person.
Right.
See, a lot of people don't realize with defamation, it's not just about something being untrue. You can actually get away with publicly saying a lie about somebody. Think of the Kardashian girls with Blac Chyna. The Kardashian girls ran around saying, Blac Chyna's been abusing my brother. She's been abusing my brother. The standard is actually, so long as you reasonably believe that what you've been told is true,
right,
and you repeat it, it's not defamation. So if somebody tells me, well, you know, Donald Trump is a slow learner and smokes crack, that's reasonable to believe. He acts like a crackhead. So if I were to go, you know,
you are shady tonight, Simone.
I'm just giving an example. You know, I want to make sure people really, I want to bring it home.
We want to understand we get it, right?
Yeah. So if I were to go on CNN and say, well, y'all know Donald Trump is a crackhead because I know this nurse over at my granny's nursing home, and she told me she used to give him his, you know, she used to find crack in his room and she used to hide it for him. Something like that. My point is this. In this situation, it was not reasonable for her to repeat as gospel whatever this old lady who's clearly who is of no type of source, like,
right, you don't know who this woman is. Like, you have no way of she said I'm the ex-wife of the best friend, but you don't know who she is for real. And see, that's what I told my people. I don't know if you looked at the video that I sent you, but that's what I keep trying to explain to people, because people keep saying, well, she can't control what her guest says. And I said, it's not that first video that's getting her in trouble. The first video, she said, well, we don't know if this is true, and well, this is all alleged. Like, in the first video, she did that. It's the second video when, like you said, she was like, Miss, what she was calling her auntie something. Everything you said is true. She don't even know this woman's real name. The woman won't even tell her real name.
Yeah, once you co-sign somebody else's foolishness,
that's what got her in trouble. Talking about some, everything you said was true. Everything you said checked out. That, as soon as I heard her say that, I said, oh, that's what's gonna get you in trouble. And so let me ask you this. So once you get the cease and desist, even if you reasonably believe that the information you're reporting on is true, once you get that cease and desist, that's basically saying, hey, you are on notice and you need to pull back. Even if unless you got the actual receipts and you can show like the proof, you need to pull back. I mean, that's basically where we are.
That's exactly what it is. Unless you have some type of proof, you need to go in there. So, like, an example was, remember with Tristan Thompson and that girl Marlene, or whatever the little girl's name is that he has the baby by.
Right.
Okay. Well, remember, Khloe Kardashian had her lawyers write the little girl a cease and desist letter. Girl, if you don't mind your vagina and leave this other one alone.
Right, because she had a reasonable belief that that was the father of her child.
And that little girl didn't cease nor desist.
Because she didn't, right.
What she did was she got on a plane from Houston where she was living. Where here in Houston, child support is capped at $2,500 a month if you're a mega millionaire. And she took her behind to California and went and filed for child support. She said, I show you your cease and desist. As in, you're not going to quiet me because I'm telling the truth, but you're too stupid to know the truth. So here you go. So in that situation, she was entitled to continue talking. But here's the danger of it. Even if what you're saying is true, because I got in trouble. I worked for this crackhead and I had said that he was a crackhead or whatever. And so ultimately he was like, it wasn't crack, it was cocaine. It's the same thing. One is black, one is white.
Right.
But even if you're telling the truth, the problem is, what is it going to cost you to prove that you're telling the truth? And it's not worth the $30,000 you're going to have to pay to retain an attorney and pay that attorney to file enough documents to get your case dismissed, if they can even get it dismissed.
Right.
So that's why it's better to use phrases like allegedly, or let the crazy people talk crazy. And you pull an Oprah, sit there like Oprah doing, be like, really? Oh, wow. How that make
right. Because when the woman called back, because, and again, to defend, to a certain extent, to defend Philly Phil, when she said everything you said checked out, I don't think she meant everything. But that's why you have, I say this all the time, you gotta be careful when you speak in absolutes, when it's everything, always, never, because that covers so much. But I think what she was trying to say was a lot of, because the woman who called this, she did give very specific events. She said, well, this person was stabbed on this date at this club, and this person was shot at this date at this establishment, and this person owned a car dealership and they got arrested. I think she was talking about those events that she could verify, but she shouldn't have said everything you said checked out, because I think maybe she forgot some of the stuff the woman said about Miss Robbie. She called Miss Robbie a prostitute. She called Miss Robbie a murderer. It was a lot of stuff that I don't think
a lot of things she could have done to reduce the damage that was created. First, number one, take the video down. Number two, she could have made a video to say, I know you guys, many of you may have seen my video. If you make another video, it actually may allow you to keep up the crazier video, right? And still get some money and some views.
Like as a disclaimer to say, hey.
Right. And say, I am here to retract what was said there. What I meant by this all checks out, I'm not referring to this. I'm referring to this specifically. We still don't know X, Y, or Z. Also, another thing you can do if you're a YouTuber or journalist of any sort, one thing you can always do is reach out to that person's social media or whatever. They're not going to write you back, but you can ask them, hey, I heard such and such. Is this true? I'm reaching out to you for comment before I go live to discuss it. That actually clears you of a lot, because you're able to say, I reached out to so-and-so for their comment and I have not heard back at the time that I'm going live.
See, I should have went on and went to law school, because I said everything you just said. I said everything. I said,
good job. See, no, you would have an unnecessary myself on the back. You have a lot of unnecessary debt, so it's totally okay. Let's see these comments.
Yeah, but and again, it's not personal. I don't know Philly Phil. I don't have no beef with Philly Phil, but I just was following the case. And because it is so, in my opinion, it's very parallel to what we saw happen with Tasha K. And I just want people to understand that as YouTubers, we do have a right to do our commentary. I'm going to still do my commentary. I'm going to still give my opinion, but you just have to be careful about making sure that there's a difference between what your opinion is and what you're saying is a fact. And
also, I think nowadays you should not YouTube without You got to get you some renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance, right? Wherever you live, that we can talk about that another day for other reasons. But you can add a policy on there for defamation and libel. It's like it varies between 15 to 20 more dollars a month, honey.
What?
Yes, yeah. In for my rental
I want
property
to have to
I
call
have in
my
Dallas,
homeowners.
my rental property in Dallas, it automatically comes with it. I actually have, because it goes by who your carrier is. Some carriers throw it in, other carriers, you can add it as
Okay.
part of additional coverage. But yeah, if you're going
Hmm.
to be a YouTuber, because guess what? How Tasha K did this, that, and the third, baby, I would have been like, yep, I said it. I said all of it. Here you go. Talk to my lawyers. My lawyers will cut you a check, and I'm going to go on about my business.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
that's
Okay.
exactly what you should.
See, I did not know that, but I definitely do need to go, and I need to go call my renter's insurance because
Yep,
you're absolutely correct. Like I never thought of it like that. Wow.
yep. You just add it to that policy. Hmm.
Wow. Okay. So that was the first case. Any so let me ask you this before we move on to the next case. Now, a court date has already been set for them to start, I guess, whatever happens first, preliminary jury. I mean, I know it's a civil case,
Hmm.
but they've already set a date. What do you think she should do? What if you were Philly Phil's attorney, what would your advice to her be?
My advice to her would be: this is the time that we negotiate to settle. Because even if you were to fight to say, well, this part of what I said was true, but this was untrue, it is not worth your time. It is not worth the money or the effort. And ultimately, if you're trying to be a content creator, if you get a judgment against you, they can attach it to your channel distribution funds.
Okay.
Therefore, instead of YouTube's money coming in your account, it can go right into their hands. And I wouldn't want that for my client. So I would say, let's talk to her about what she would be comfortable with settling. It doesn't even have to be a lot of money. A lot of people think it's got to be this lump sum. No, it can be an apology. It could be a public apology or some retraction on your channel. And you can
Okay.
do it along with some type of let's say she agrees to 20,000. Okay, well that could be 2,000 a month for 10 months. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's her YouTube money. It could be like, I'm going to give you my YouTube money for 10 months. Because guess what? You're also going to get more YouTube money because you're probably going to have more viewers.
Yeah,
So,
because that video has over 200,000, almost it's close to 300,000 views.
so
That one video.
that's what I would tell her to do. Because if you watch Tasha K now, see, Tasha K is slowly coming off of YouTube.
Yeah, but
Tasha K
she
used
did a live
YouTube.
about that. It's so funny because the stuff you say y'all. I'm not just blowing smoke up her ass because she's sitting here, but a lot of what you say it comes up. Last maybe wasn't last week, maybe the week before last. She did a live, maybe it was last week. Anyway, she did a live on her IG. It wasn't even on YouTube, and she did this whole live. It was maybe about an hour and a half long, and basically the whole video was about her leaving YouTube and why she's leaving YouTube.
What was her
And
lie?
what was it?
I'm calling it a lie. What was she claiming
Well,
was
she
the
was
reason?
just making it seem. She was just talking about how YouTube, the money, how YouTube is just basically she was making it seem like YouTube wasn't doing right by her anymore, so she was leaving. That YouTube, the money isn't what it used to be, and they're gonna, because YouTube makes most of its money off of its ad revenue, and they're gonna be pulling those ads soon because TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, they don't use ads. They don't do the ad. She broke it all the way down. But basically, she was saying
And it
exactly what you said.
sounds
She was
great.
letting people know
But the
and that
real
she's
reason,
putting everything on her app and
yeah,
that she's only going to be dropping snippets on YouTube just enough to get
right.
people to go over to the app.
And it sounds good, but the real true reason, and I've been saying this since the case situation dropped, the true reason is that Cardi B is going to go to court and take the judgment that they have now that the appeal is the first time around, it got dismissed. It's going to get dismissed again. So she's going to be able to take her judgment, get it executed, basically signed by the judge, and walk it right on over to YouTube and say, give me a channel. Give it to me. And every gosh darn dime is going to be in Cardi B's pocket until all 4 million are paid. Because see, what probably happened is after you have a situation like that, the lawyers try to negotiate some type of a settlement or agreement. And I know Cardi B was like, no, she hasn't apologized. She's not remorseful. I want all 4 million of my dollars, because that's the thing. You can't fool with rich people like that. I said some white people, but it's the rich people. You cannot fool with rich people like that, because they will take you to court on principle and run you dry. She just did not size up her opponent.
It's that arrogance. You know, the one thing I'm learning, when people have that level of arrogance, it's like you hear them talk and you're like, girl, are you listening? Like, do you hear yourself? You know,
right.
Like I was looking, and this is a totally different subject, but I saw where Irv Gotti posted on the Shade Room that people are getting mad at him because he was telling the truth, and all he's doing was telling the truth, and they don't want the truth. They want people to lie to them like everybody else. So he just gonna stop telling the truth. And I'm like, no, sir. It's not that you could have just told us that you had an affair with Ashanti. We already knew that you had an affair with Ashanti, but you took it to a whole nother level. You was calling that woman out her name. You were disrespecting her, and you basically was making her into like a groupie or whatever. Like you can't dog her out and then at the end say, but I really loved her. No. Especially something that was 20 years old, sir. So it's like you don't hear yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's that level. When people get so full of themselves and their ego, and you'll just be like, do you hear yourself though? Like, do you really hear what you're saying?
Kind of stupid. Right. Now listen, Jennifer Henderson wrote, she said, I don't think Tasha K's policy covered her for all that money. You're right. So that's the issue. Tasha K didn't have a policy at all. At all. Let me tell you something. Ain't no way I'd be running around accusing people of having chlamydia, gonorrhea, anything else when I haven't seen their medical records. If I didn't have insurance to cover me, like, are you crazy? Yep, she didn't have the policy. That's why all of that was her out of pocket. That's why she had Olga.
So here's a question, and then we're gonna move on to the next case. Quintessential says, so Tasha K lies from YouTube and makes money from an app. Does that judgment follow Tasha?
Absolutely. See, it'll follow her even to the app. So they can go to the app and demand that the app revert the monies to Tasha. But the issue is because Tasha is the app, it would be a lot easier for Tasha to hide how much they're making, right?
And remember, I told you what she said on that live she did with Larry Reid, where she was like, I'm a volunteer. I don't work for my company. I just volunteer. So she's trying to make it seem like she's not making any money.
You're right. And also I was bored one day. And so I just started doing a background search on Tasha. Tasha moved all her assets into her husband's name.
Yeah, we talked about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was the dumbest move. You cannot do that after she did that after she got the judgment, right? She did that like in March, but because the problem is that's considered a fraudulent transfer, because you had already gotten a judgment against you, and you're doing this so that those assets can no longer be used to satisfy your judgment. So Cardi B's lawyers are going to do what? Now they're going to go to court and say, hey, that was fraudulent, because she gave it to her husband for zero. You can't give something like her house, for example, which was worth $500,000. She gave her half to him for nothing. When you do that, it's obvious. And then it gets to get undone. You have to pay Cardi B's attorney's expenses. Wow. And you may have to give Cardi B up to 3 times the value of the asset you tried to hide.
Wow. So, and again, for me, this goes back to the arrogance, because I don't believe, I know her attorneys get a lot of flack, but I don't believe her attorneys are advising her to do these things. I think she thinks she's smarter than everybody else, and she's doing these things. But that's just my opinion.
I've had a number of those clients. So yes, I think she's doing the things, and then the attorneys are likely finding out, or she might mention it to them after the fact. Right. The problem is, that's why I will fire I will fire somebody who's doing things like that because I look like the idiot. Okay.
Yeah.
I look like I am consenting in this, and it's deceitful to the court. And at the end of the day, once your lawyer loses credibility with the judge, your case is lost. So once Miss Olga lost credibility, and let's just go on a limb. I'm gonna say she lost credibility because Tasha K told her certain things that were inaccurate or untrue, and then she simply repeated them. But once that happens, the judge don't believe nothing else you say, and you're gonna fight an uphill battle.
Well, I mean, not to go back through the whole Tasha K thing, but you remember I don't know how far back you went, but even in the preliminary hearings, the judge told Tasha K, you need to get new attorneys. The judge told her, your attorneys are looking like novices. Like if you go back and read the transcript, the judge dogged her attorneys out. And that was before the trial even started. That was during, just the preliminary phases of them going through the evidence and stuff. The judge was really, really hard. But her attorneys are they're criminal defense attorneys. They're not civil.
Yes, that's what I saw. Now, and let me tell you, I actually can take clients around the nation. So yes, I'm based in Houston, Texas, but no matter where you're located in America, I don't do other countries, but in America, I can take your case. I partner actually with the best trial attorneys in the nation, depending on, and I focus primarily on cases where someone's injured, where there's racism involved, those kind of different things. And I'll tell you this, when I have my cases that are in other districts than Dallas or than Houston, than where I'm at, I find out, all I want to know is, tell me about your jury and your trial experience, and tell me what you know about my judge, the judge that we are assigned to. Because look, if I got a racist judge, I will pull one of these white boys in who goes play golf with him. Yes, I will. I will go to their Facebook and I will look and see where Judge so-and-so plays golf. And then I go and I look in my trial attorneys group chat and I say, who plays golf at the so-and-so? If you have a membership, email me. And then here comes white boy Hunter. And I'm like, hey, white boy Hunter, I have a such and such case. My client is African-American. I need a white boy on my team. And he's like, oh. And I was like, and we're going to split the fee and we work it out so it don't cost more for my client. But I say that to say, you have to know your judge. You have to know your audience. You have to know your jury.
Well, that's the kind of lawyer I want. I want the kind of lawyer that's going to be lurking on Facebook, honey. Then this is a perfect opportunity to take a commercial break before we pivot. Simone,
yes, and we can take some questions if you're able to.
Okay, and I meant to do this at the beginning, but give me your phone number again so I can put it in the chat. Because again, absolutely, she is able to take cases all over the country. So even she's based out of Texas, but even if you're not in Texas and you specialize in
injury, anything where individuals are hurt by corporations. So serious injury, employment issues, any of that where you're hurt by a major entity. And it's a David and Goliath type situation.
Got you. Okay, so what's the phone number again? I remember you had a number.
Sure, it's 855-4-SIMONE, which is 855-479-6663.
63. And what was your website again?
Yep, it's you can go to SimoneRedwine.com. We're updating our site right now. But go to Simone Redwine, and Simone is with a Y.com.
Okay, I'm going to put it up there so y'all have it. And remember, and also, I think the last time you were saying that you in the state of Texas, you not specialize, but you're able to get in a lot of cases people's records expunged.
Oh, yes. So I'm an injury and expungement attorney. So in the state of Texas, I can seal or expunge your record. If you've successfully finished probation, I can handle that. If it's a misdemeanor and you did time served, I can even get that off your record. I've had people where we call it sealing your record. I've sealed their record, and then they got security clearance to work at a bank, even though it was a theft that I sealed.
Oh, wow. Now that is definitely helpful. Okay, so I'm going to put the link up for members only, so you guys can come up first, or members, you can drop your questions in the chat if you don't want to come up. And then we're going to talk about Johnny Depp and Angelina Jolie. I mean, not Johnny Depp.
Brad Pitt
and Angelina Jolie. And then I'll drop the link for everybody. So you can ask your questions in the chat. But if you want to come up, members, you're going to get the link in a minute. And then I will drop the link for everybody after we get done talking about this. So now this is a case. I think this is going to be the next Johnny Depp, Amber Heard.
Heck yeah.
If it gets to that point. Now,
gets to that.
Break it down for us, girl. Because you were talking to me on the phone and I was like, what? So break it down for me.
Okay. So little Miss Angelina, honey, she's about sick of Brad. She wants Brad to go somewhere and leave her and all her babies to be. Now, Brad and Angelina have already been adjudicated single since 2019. What that means is, there's a clock that calculates for splitting assets and determining alimony, all that stuff. It goes by how long you've been married. Well, a judge has already determined, basically, y'all aren't married anymore. You're now single. And that the only issue left is custody and visitation, and then child support for the kids. Now, I get the feeling here it's less about the money. She literally don't want to be bothered with having to share visitation with him. So what did this girl go on and do? Okay. So round about in 2014, the whole family was on a private jet, all 6 of the kids, the whole basketball team of children were on a private jet. And Brad and Angelina got into it some type of way. And Angelina decided that when they landed, she was going to call the FBI. Ooh. And she calls the FBI and she says, he attacked me on the plane and I need to make a statement. And she makes this statement. And they look into it and nobody cared because they determined it wasn't true. In the statement, basically, she accuses him of hitting her, of pushing her, of her laying on a blanket, of him pouring beer on her blanket, and calling her ugly, and a variety of other stupid things where if it really happened, children of the age that her kids would have been like, yeah, my dad poured beer on my mom's head.
Yeah, because they don't have any babies.
They were not babies.
All right.
Look, if I'm 12 years old and you pour beer on my mama's head, I'm telling everybody and I'm getting you got to go. And if we're rich, now if we're poor, I might need you to pay for my private school because I can't fly. But I'm just saying. So that happened in 2014. It had been deaded, but recently, as in within a few weeks, under the name of Jane Doe, Angelina Jolie went and made an Open Records Act request for a copy of that report. And then she gave it to the media.
Because those pictures leaked.
Yeah, they were accidentally leaked by this Jane Doe. Brad believes that the Jane Doe was Angelina doing this to resurface this issue since they're still fighting over custody and to use it in her favor. And basically, he is poised so that if this prevents him from getting work and impacts him the way that the other situation impacted Johnny Depp, he's ready to sue her and bring her to the courts because he wants to clear his name, both for himself and so that his children know what is accurate and what's not. I mean, that's just crazy. And here's the thing of it. If you come across the report, what you have to remember is it is solely and exclusively what Angelina told the FBI. It's nobody else's version. You can say whatever you want. I know a lot of crazy people. My aunt, every Christmas, she used to put a Christmas wreath on her head and stand on the corner with the Bible and say she was Jesus Christ. She wasn't Jesus Christ. It was crack talking. But she believed it at the time. My point is, you can say whatever you want. That doesn't make it true.
Right.
But what's unfortunate is that this has been dragging on since 2019. And at this point, I think her youngest children are 12. So it's
because the oldest daughter just started Spelman. She's a freshman at Spelman this year.
What was she the oldest?
I think Shiloh's the oldest. I think that's the first baby she stole from Africa. Yeah.
Okay, that was the first one. Okay.
That's the first baby she stole, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm almost, because she had no. Shiloh's not the oldest. The
gay one?
The Asian boy is. Well,
the gay one. Oh yeah, Maddox.
I think it's a she now. I think the oldest one has transitioned. I think it's a she.
She's gone back to girl?
No. Okay, I'm confused. I thought the oldest one was a boy.
Yeah.
That is transitioned to that's trans. That's a girl.
No, I think it was the girl Shiloh. She was gay. She was a gay baby. I know she was gay.
Oh,
Shiloh wants to be a boy.
Okay, then I'm confused. Okay, all right. I think let me just leave it at that. The Shiloh, I think, is the oldest.
That was a gay baby. I saw her. She had.
Yeah, I think Shiloh is the oldest. Let me just leave it at that. I think Shiloh's the oldest, and then Zahara, which is the black baby that's at Spelman.
You're right.
So if she's old enough to go to Spelman, then they are older than Zahara.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. So
I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I'm just trying to get it right. Okay. So don't nobody come for me if I got the wrong pronouns. I'm just trying to get it right. Okay.
But yeah, my point is these children are old enough to say, Daddy, I want to go to your house, or Daddy, I don't want to go to your house. Daddy, I'm sick of you, or nah.
Okay. All right. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me get it right. You're right. Thank you. Maddox is the Asian baby that I was talking about. He's the oldest. Shiloh is their first biological child that they had together.
Got you.
But she had adopted Maddox and Zahara before she got with Brad. Okay. So Shiloh is their first. Thank you, Lauren, and thank you, Cali girl. Shiloh is their first biological child. Thank you. Because I don't want to get it wrong, and I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I want to get it right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and Maddox is still a boy, right?
Maddox is still a boy. Shiloh is the one that transitioned.
I knew it.
I believe.
My God. That makes me feel, I feel so good. Because when she was a baby, I said, look, that is a gay baby. I knew it. I thought she would be one of I thought she was going to be a lesbian.
Okay.
People were like, you shouldn't call that baby that. I said, no, she liked her hair short. She liked to wear board clothes and stuff like that. Well, good for her. I saw it coming. All right. Okay.
So now what's up with I don't know if you looked into this, but what's up with the winery? What's up with the winery that they own together?
Right.
Allegedly she sold her shares
So basically Brad Pitt is livid that what Angelina did was effectively dilute his shares to have virtually no value. So together they owned a vineyard that would be worth about $93 million. But what Angelina did when she was good and sick of Brad is she took her shares and she sold it to their number one competitor. Well, when you do that, Angelina gets a premium and his is kind of left out like trash, right? Because of the fact that he don't really have a choice. He can either sell, or now the amount of land that he owns that's left isn't enough to get economies of scale and be competitive and have a competitive price and all that. So effectively, it forces him to sell his shares to the same person or someone else for even less than it's worth. So it's really reduced the value. So, I mean, this girl is playing checkers over here, and I don't feel bad because that's what happens when you're a married man and you go over there looking for a fun time, good time girl.
All right, let me just say this. This is my final word on this because I don't want nobody coming for me. Shiloh is 16. Shiloh has not transitioned. And Shiloh's pronoun is she and her as of right now. I found an article. Okay. I found an article dated June 17th of 2022. So that's probably about as accurate.
She just likes to wear pants.
Right.
I understand. She probably plays softball. All my friends that played softball like to wear pants.
Yeah. So, yes. So, but it says she want to be a hip hop. I'm not doing that. Okay, moving on because I ain't doing that. So she is circumventing him with this winery, anticipating the I don't want to be with him no more situation.
Right. I don't want to be with him. I don't want to share any businesses with him. I don't want to deal with him.
Oh, that was dirty dog. That was dirty
Because
dog
the
dirty.
truth of the matter is, if they had both gone together to the same competitor, they could have got a premium, right? Because he would have been able to then price out any other opponents. Think of it like if it was American Airlines and it was Delta. If Delta went to American and said, hey, I'm tired of this stuff and these people beating up my flight attendants and stuff. I don't really want to do this air stuff no more. I want to sell my shares to you if you can give me the right price. They're going to say, you know what? I'm going to pay you a lot because once I do, I'm going to be the head of the industry. And whatever I set my price at, everybody else is going to be stuck with old raggedy ass Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So I can charge whatever I want for mine. That's what's going on with the vineyard. I hope that makes sense.
Oh my goodness. Now, okay, Shiloh was a daddy's girl and she wanted to mimic her dad, so she would dress like him and cut her hair short. I think she's comfortable like this. Yeah,
That's
again,
adorable.
I don't want I listen, I ain't trying to make nobody's child nothing. That's what I thought I had read.
Oh, okay, yes.
So that's why I Googled it and I just wanted to clear it up because I don't talk about the babies. I don't do that. So y'all,
I go by what they want to go by.
Right. If it was a mistake, it was an honest one. That's why I Googled. I looked it up. So yeah.
Whatever names they want. One time I changed my name when I was 8 and I changed my name to Cindy, like Cindy Lauper. Yeah, so I very much understand when children.
I tried to change my name and my daddy was like, I don't know who you think you are, but I named you and this is what I named you. And that's what it's going to be. Because I was signing my papers at school and everything. And the teacher must have said something. My father was like, what is this?
I love it, man. With my bonus baby, I'm with all the foolishness.
I saw y'all pictures from y'all vacation.
Oh, okay. Guess what? So Sunday, y'all, sorry, that's off topic. My
okay. Go ahead, girl.
But I'm super excited. This Sunday, I'm having a bonus baby shower.
Oh, that's cute.
Yes. So really what it is.
I've never heard of that. That's so cute.
I made it up. So what it is I sat him down with my niece and I said, wow, we love you so much and we're so excited to have you in the family. And you're going to be the first boy because there's only, my niece and her sister, so girls. So we're going to throw you a welcome to the family party where you get to meet all your new cousins and we're going to have pizza.
Oh, that is really cute.
And swimming pools. So he was like, really? So he's super excited. So we're going to go to Dallas for that.
That's so cute. You know what? I love when I see a blended family making it happen. That is so cute. I love that idea. I absolutely love that idea.
I'll let you know how it goes.
I have 2 bonus nephews. My sister's husband had 2 older kids. So, it's been interesting. I'm like, with them and stuff like that. So it's definitely, that's nice though. Look, everybody saying that's so nice. Look, everybody in the chat. That's so nice. That's so nice. All right. So I'm getting ready to drop the link. Again, you do not have to come on camera if you want to come up and talk to Simone. You don't have to be on camera, but I do have to verify that you're a real person before you come up here. Okay. So just know you do not have to show your face. I will not show anybody's face that doesn't want to be shown, but I do need to verify backstage that you are a real person, that you're not getting ready to do nothing crazy when you come up here. So I am going to drop the link. And I have it on subscriber only mode anyway. So you have to be a subscriber in order to even be in the chat. So, and again, that's just to protect me from the bots and all that stuff that be going on, child. And let's talk a little bit about, just as an update. And again, I got some clarity on the NeNe Leakes situation where me and you were talking. And you brought some clarity to something that I said in reference to, you sort of agree with what we were saying, that NeNe dropping the case with prejudice probably does mean that they're going into some sort of arbitration. But
without prejudice.
Right. I'm sorry, without prejudice. Thank you.
Right. Yeah.
But you said something that I thought would never happen. You said that she may, because there is a negotiation going on, that she may even be able to negotiate getting back on the network. Maybe not necessarily Bravo, but NBC.
So here's what it really means, y'all, when someone dismisses a case with prejudice. I mean, without prejudice. Of course, it means you can bring the case back. But generally, what that means is they have not settled the case for money. NeNe Leakes has not received money. And the reason I'm saying that is because you only settle a case without prejudice, which allows you to bring it back when there's something that is yet to be done. Meaning, she likely came to some agreement with them, likely where they said, all right, we're going to let you have a show, develop a show, or come back on one of our shows. Or what if we let you come back to the next season of Real Housewives? There's something that must be done. So that's what it means when a case is dismissed without prejudice. It means that it's because something still has to be done. And in the event the defendants don't do what they promised to do, I can come back and sue them for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because I'll be honest, I was like, I think they'll pay her a nice little piece of change, but I don't think they're gonna let her back on the network. But you're saying that that's probably what she's trying to negotiate, which is likely what's going on behind the scenes.
Now, it could be a podcast.
Okay.
It could be
something under NBC Universal, because I mean, there's a lot of options under NBC Universal that ain't Bravo.
Exactly. But most importantly, what I want to be clear is it's not simply they have paid her some money, because what happens is once that money is wired, see, we don't cut checks when you're talking about cases like that. Checks aren't cut because checks can be stopped, right? Okay. Money is wired. Once the money is wired, then everybody signs the settlement agreement, and then the case is dismissed with prejudice, meaning you can never bring it again.
Then you can't bring it back, right?
Right. Because they haven't done that, that's how we know that there's something that somebody still has to do to keep their side of the deal, whatever the deal was.
That makes sense. Now, see, that makes sense. If that makes sense what you're saying. If it were just a matter of money, then the money's negotiated, it's agreed upon, you cut the check, and that's it. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense what you're saying. Because I said all along, and this is my opinion. This is just me thinking like a producer, I guess. NeNe has a show. NeNe, she has her lounge down in Atlanta where she's very hands-on. Her son is one of the managers of that lounge. She has the whole life after Greg scenario. You know, she went through this long, I'm sorry, y'all. She went through this long situation with her husband of 20-something years who went through this battle with cancer. She has a story. I mean, it's one of those feel-good reality shows. It's not a drag you down and punch you, kick you and punch you. It's a, Run's House style, reality show. The E! Network carries those shows. They had the Mathis, the Judge Mathis show, very, very feel good. She actually has a show there, and I think people would watch it because people love NeNe. They love her, and people would actually watch it and see, especially with this whole thing with her and the husband, which we were going to talk about that too. But maybe we could. Did you look that up? If not, we could do it next time.
Yeah, no, I have. Yes, I looked up the law. I don't remember if it's North or South Carolina, but I love that little.
North Carolina, because he lives in Charlotte. Or he lived in Charlotte.
But somebody made a point. Somebody said, "I don't think she wants to go back to Real Housewives." She absolutely does not. She doesn't. At this point, I believe that she feels it's beneath her. She would want her own show, like you mentioned. Just how Candy got the Old Lady Gang show or whatever she calls it. What you call it? Candy's Gang.
Yeah, Old Lady Gang. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the show is called like Candy's Gang or whatever it's called. Right. But I could see NeNe bringing the suit with her attorney. If she were my client, she'd come in my office and I would say, "I'm listening. I hear you." I'd say something very kind and empathetic, but I would say, I always ask my clients, what would make you feel successful? If you could walk out of my office with what in particular, whether it's money or it's a tangible thing, or it's an opportunity, what would make you feel like victory? And here, if she were to say money with the racial suit, I would say, I don't think we have the facts to support that. But what I do believe that I could get you is a meeting unlike any your attorneys have ever gotten you, which would be a meeting where you could pitch something, and I could basically use it. We could do a mediation, and I could say, listen, we feel that has been rejected or whatever, her shows haven't been picked up for these reasons. But we believe that at the end of the day, the public wants to see her, and you guys know that you have a star. So let's marry both of our interests, which are money, and let's see if we can develop a show. So the settlement agreement would be, you will give a good faith effort. You will give her a show with a budget of X amount and at least this many episodes. You will pay her for whether you put them on TV or not. You will not blackball her. You will not say anything ugly about her. And we will go from there. And I think that is better than some of the potential, because it allows her to walk away as a victor, and it allows them to walk away.
Yeah. And like O Street said, you could see a show with her lounge because heavy hitters frequent there. She's always got celebrity. I went when I was in Atlanta, I went and Tamar was there that night. Yeah. And NeNe is very hands-on. She came around to our table. She was giving away free shots.
Right.
And she came to our table.
The food is nasty. And the food is really nasty. So that would really help with the plot, that you can come in here and you can see NeNe and get you a little food poisoning, or you know
what, you so shady. But but I'm just saying there's a show there, I think. And now I ain't saying it's gonna last.
If Kandi could have a show based off her restaurant, and NeNe could definitely do that. And I mean, the HG network or whatever, there's a whole series. What is it called? Bar Rescue. It's all about restaurants and stuff that goes on behind them. 1,000%, including the drama she's got now with her family, her son's baby mama.
Yeah. And again, it's about how much she's willing to share about that. But the restaurant, because there's nothing. I mean, even if you address, because Kandi. Now, let me tell you something. Kandi is the queen of taking lemons and making lemonade. And Kandi was already working on her show. Old Lady Gang was already in the works when they started getting those bad reviews and the health department shut them down. So what did Kandi do? She flipped it. And she made the whole show about fixing what went wrong. Absolutely. And the whole show was about, when we first opened these restaurants, we were doing great. And we had line around the block, blah, blah, blah. And then this happened. We got bad reviews. We got the health department. And the show is about fixing it. Do we need to bring back the old people that helped make the show a success? They brought in a quote unquote fixer that he was going to come and turn it around. Kandi knows how to take lemons and make lemonade. Now, people ain't got to like her. Kandi know how to make money.
I think Kandi is about the normalest one up there.
Mm-hmm.
She's the most normal. And that usually happens with the cast member who don't need the show. She's just there for fun.
And I think the thing I like about Kandi is Kandi doesn't pretend or put on airs. Like, does Kandi wear, a nice, outfit or expensive outfit? Sure. But we also see Kandi be cheap as hell.
That's me. Yes. And I can relate.
But when Kandi bought her new house
to a regular person.
Right. Just like, for example, with Kandi bought her house, the house she's in now, she bought it as a foreclosure fixer-up. But she paid cash. But she paid cash for it, and now she's renovated. She's fixed it up. She got 2 houses on one piece of property, and it's worth ridiculous. Like, she's doubled the value of the house.
Right.
Like, that's the kind of shit we see Kandi doing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. With that little bitty man of hers. And people talked about her.
I love Todd. I don't care what nobody say about Todd. I love me some Todd.
I love Todd, too. I don't care if Todd was 2 feet tall. I support that. I tell all my girlfriends all the time, you better get you a little bitty old man. They'll take your trash out, because they know they can't just be sitting around being cute. They've got to be useful. Absolutely.
Yeah. So then were you able to pull up any information on this lawsuit between NeNe and the baby? I mean, the wife, the wife of her new husband.
Yeah. And that one. Okay. So how it works is, in North Carolina is one of only 8 states left that has basically a law on the books where you can sue the mistress. However, the issue has to be that you're suing her for the loss of the relationship that you had with your husband. So if the two of y'all already hate each other, live in separate houses, and aren't doing it no more, it's not going to work. And I believe that that is NeNe's position. Is look, they wasn't doing it to each other. I didn't mess up a happy home. The home was already raggedy.
Mm-hmm.
I am just over here doing my Christian duty, making this man here feel real good for today. But part of the issue in the petition is each side has a different claim as to when the husband and wife split up. So she is saying that it happened much later. He was saying it happened before he got with NeNe, and that's really what it's going to turn on.
That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, that's how Fantasia Barreno, when she got sued for the same thing, she was able to win her case because they were able to show proof that they had already been separated. So if a couple is separated, he can go date whoever he wants to.
Facts.
You don't get to file a suit just because who he picked is rich and you're over here struggling. I'm sorry, ma'am.
Right. Facts.
But that's not what that's for.
Mm-hmm.
So. Somebody said Todd does try to be cute with his 4 foot. Comes Candy's 2 feet. Yep.
Yeah, because Candy is short too. Candy like 5'2". She's real short. She's be wearing them damn stilettos all the time, but Candy's short.
Yes, she is.
Okay, so it's going to really come down to the whatever documentation that the two of them are able to provide as to, because she's saying that the man was living in the house with them until he left her to go be with NeNe and move to Atlanta.
I hear them. Now, I forgot about the kids. Now, I believe that because a lot of men, what they'll do, they'll be real raggedy. And in their mind, their thought is, I'm going to stick around until the kids go off to college. I wouldn't be surprised if that was his approach in his approach in his mind. And then all of a sudden NeNe came along and he was like, well, hold on. I don't mind being public with her. I was private with the local North Carolina girls that I was messing with. Right. And I wouldn't be surprised. I need to know more information, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it went along. But one thing that is clear, though, is that right now, and I think this is more so to do with NeNe and her lawsuit, financially, NeNe is struggling. She is really being pulled thin. Now, you have to remember, so we're going to give her some grace, because you have to remember, more than likely, Greg passed with no life insurance because Greg had cancer about 10 years ago or so.
He had it and then it went to remission and then it came back.
Right. You can't get a life insurance policy once that's happened.
Right. And Greg was self-employed.
Right. So Greg doesn't have a pension. Greg doesn't have a retirement. Greg doesn't have nothing. Now, Greg got NeNe to some comfort and then NeNe kept them there. So we have to
because he was doing, he was working, but yeah, it was.
He's a consultant of sorts. Of sorts. And then now she had her big house. She had to sell that. She moved into the condo, and now she's having to sell that. She's
selling the condo,
on the brink of foreclosure.
Yeah.
Now, when you move from a big house into a condo, and your condo is already on the market because you're trying to avoid foreclosure, that says you're getting pulled thin. So this settlement, this agreement, however it's going to be structured, is right on time. And so it sounds like the best thing that we can do to support her is watch whatever she's going to have coming on TV so she can get her little coins and keep her
lovely 31. We're speculating based on the information we have.
Yeah.
So not gospel. We're speculating based on what we know about what was going on with Greg. So
I pulled, correct, with Greg. And since his passing, she has talked about how tight money has been. She has not associated it to his passing, but she has talked about how they're keeping.
Those are facts. Those are the facts, because she sold the house and she kept reducing the price of the house, and then she's only been in her condo. She hasn't even been in that condo 6 months.
No, not at all. And I pulled the deed documents. When you look at the deed documents, she owes, I want to say she has an adjustable rate mortgage, meaning whenever you see somebody with an adjustable rate mortgage, baby,
those adjustable rates get you in trouble. I don't know why people keep doing it.
Here's the problem with adjustable rates. They only get higher from here. So if someone in the market that we recently had, right, where it was the lowest of all time, if someone has to get an arm, that means they can't afford the house. That's what that means. Because it only gets worse from there. And so she's trying to get out from under the house before it adjusts again, is my understanding. But she's got a mortgage on it. She's got, different debts on it. And then by her letting out, at the end of the day, NeNe, it's okay, sweetie. You can go rent whatever you want. Rent what you want. You can probably get something real nice. Actually, now that you mentioned it, Ari Fletcher, her apartment's going to be available because she's getting evicted right as we speak. Moneybag Blue's girlfriend, you can probably take her unit. Yep. I think hers was around, she owes like $5,000. I think they were saying, I think the paperwork I read had it to be about $5,000. It was either $2,500 or $5,000 a month that she was supposed to be paying, and she was behind, bless her heart. So they're trying to evict her.
Now, Kathy Smith said that the married man, NeNe's boyfriend, him and his wife were taking trips to Paris for her birthday 2 months before going public with NeNe. See, that's the kind of stuff that's going to get him in trouble, right?
Right. Oh, no. He actually, this is why the law is so raggedy. He doesn't get in any trouble. Only the mistress does.
Well, what I mean, as far as being able to prove, the wife being able to prove her case that they were still together.
Yes, so that helps the wife and it hurts NeNe. Because NeNe should have had an indemnification agreement. Indemnification means if you get me in some shit, you got to pay my lawyers whatever they require to get me up out of this. So everybody needs a confidentiality and indemnification.
Now, I'm going to say this. When I lived in North Carolina, and again, that was years ago, so this may not still be the case, but when I lived in North Carolina, you had to be legally separated a year before you could get divorced. And legally separated meant that y'all had separate addresses, because I had friends who were ready to get divorced. They could, they were done. They were over. They were ready for it to be done. And they had to, and I'm talking people that was like waiting for the day. Like I got my own apartment. He or she has their own apartment. And they are counting down to the day of 1 year. So
not just separate. Y'all can't be doing it to each other anymore.
Yeah. You can't be having sex.
If y'all got separate apartments.
Absolutely.
And he wants to come over for a little nightcap.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so I'm saying that to say, even if he were to say, well, yeah, we were living together, but I was sleeping in the guest bedroom. I was just there to help with the kids. If that law still stands in North Carolina, that does not count as a legal separation under the law and again, the law may have changed, because I know in Maryland, the law changed, because it used to be like that in Maryland, but they've changed it here in Maryland. So I don't know if it's the same if it's still the same in Atlanta. Now, Kathy said it's the same in Maryland, but I thought they changed it in Maryland. But I ain't been married and I ain't been trying to get no divorce, so I don't know. But I knew it used to be the case here in Maryland, because again, I have friends here that were going through the same thing, but I thought somebody told me they changed it, but it may still be the case. So I say all that to say that even if he were to say, or even if NeNe were to say, well, I knew he was staying at the house, but he was only there to help with the kids, that still doesn't count as a legal separation.
Right. Exactly. And that's because states like that, they really, really value marriage, and they want to,
because it's a Bible Belt state. It's a Bible Belt state.
They want to make it very difficult for you to get a divorce. They really make you. That's how come they always end up on Snap. Watch Snap. It's always somebody from a Carolina up there.
You ain't lying. Listen, it's been a couple of them Snap. Listen, I knew somebody that was on one of them Snap cases. She went to the college that I went to.
Which one? Tell me more. I love that show.
I can't remember the name, but she went to Bennett College. Her boyfriend, the guy she married, went to A&T. They started dating while she was at Bennett. I didn't know her, but she was at Bennett while I was at Bennett. She was like a freshman when I was a senior. So I didn't know her. And they were from Maryland. And they moved back to Maryland. He worked at NASA Goddard. He was an engineer, worked at NASA Goddard. That's in Greenbelt, Maryland.
And he made her kill him.
And I used to live in Greenbelt. I used to live right up the street from NASA Goddard. He worked for NASA. And I was watching that case. Look, I saw, as soon as they said Bennett College, I said, oh, y'all looking at Snap. I was in every Bennett group chat I know. I said, "Are y'all looking at snaps? Are y'all looking at snaps?"
Oh my goodness. Oh, we should reach out and see how she's doing now. Here, get her little update. I love
She in
jail.
jail. That's how she doing.
I need to give me a press pass so I can get jail updates. Someone was saying that just a few weeks ago, the staff at NeNe's Lounge walked out because they were not getting paid.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I heard she having problems with payroll.
And I've heard that recently they were just randomly closed. They were closed for
they closed. Yeah, they just randomly closed and they reopened. Because at first people were speculating that it wasn't going to reopen, but it did actually reopen. But the question is for how long? Because when businesses start doing that, y'all know, y'all find that little hole in the wall mom and pop shop, and then you start it's the best food you ever had. Yeah. And it's that, and then you show up one day and they close. And then you come back and they open, and then you come back and they close again, and then next thing you know, they just close for good. That's when stuff start happening, when they can't keep their business hours.
Nope. Yeah, that always makes me so sad, because at that point I already love their food, so I need them to stay open.
Listen, I'd be so mad. That'd be the best food in the world. Yes. Remember she closed the boutique down without any notice, and the people showed up for work. Yeah. I remember she had to close her boutiques down.
Wait, NeNe had a boutique?
Yeah, she had a string of them. What was her boutiques called, y'all? I forgot the name of it. I went to the opening, the one here in she had one here at the MGM. I knew them boutiques wasn't gonna last long when I went to the opening of the one up here in it was in Maryland. She had it at the MGM, at the MGM casino over at the harbor. And I know the rent had to be high because there's an MCM shop, there's a Sarah Jessica Parker, all of these high-end stores, right? I said, so first of all, your rent is high. That I know. Right. Second of all, I went into the boutique and it was nice. And NeNe was in there because it was the opening weekend. NeNe was in there. It was called Swag. Thank you, V Carter. It was called Swag. NeNe was in there and she was very nice. And she was she did everything. She would open up the dressing room. She would work the register. She would take a picture with you if you bought something. You had to buy something first.
That's
the
fair.
Cheapest thing in the store were these little cheap T-shirts that had her little catchphrases on there. Like, I said what I said, and all of that kind of stuff. But like those camo pants that she wears all the time. They had those camo pants in there. And I said, now these are cute. I'll give me a pair of these little camo cargo pants. Them things was like $170. I said, now NeNe, come on, stop it. They had like these, like the little tops. They had like the Rolling Stone lips on them. They had like they were.
Who is advising her? I don't like.
Right. This. I said this store ain't gonna last long because one, you don't have the reputation to survive in this. On this row, you can't survive next to Sarah Jessica Parker and MCM. And your prices for the people like me, the everyday that I just like the show and I'm just showing up here to support you. Ain't nobody buying no $150, $60, $70 cargo pants. Like, ain't nobody doing that. Not with nobody's name on it. I hate to call black folk out, but I'm gonna call us out. I'm gonna say us.
Yes.
I'm gonna point the finger at myself. I'm gonna point the finger at myself.
No, she should have learned her lesson from Beyonce. Remember when Beyonce was putting Darion on everything?
House of Darion.
Put it up on the sales clearance rack at the Burlington Coat Factory. Mm-hmm. We wanted to support Beyonce, but didn't nobody know who Darion was? That's between you and your granny.
And that's the thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we can't support black designers, but it wasn't a black designer. It was some shit you bought from Asia and you put up in your store. Like it wasn't like that. And then nobody about to spend $170 on a pair of camo cargo pants that I can go to the mall and get for $60. Like, nobody's doing that. So I knew then. I said, that's not gonna last. I knew it wasn't gonna last. And she had one here in DC. She had one in Atlanta. She might have had more than one in Atlanta, but she had them in Atlanta, and then she had one in Miami, and it was the same thing. She had it inside of one of like the high-end Miami hotels. And I was like, that's not gonna last. That's not gonna last.
I hope she didn't lose any money. I hope it was one of those things where she just gets to be the face of it and somebody else put up all their money. Like, oh, like maybe she was washing money for drug dealers or something like that. That would be nice. That
Kathy,
way
you
she
must be
didn't lose
down there in Atlanta. Kathy giving us all the good info. She said a female employee got attacked by male employees at NeNe's, and NeNe's son Brent wouldn't allow her to call the police 2 weeks ago. Now I'm gonna say this: Brent is a manager down there, and he's very hands on. So that's really that's believable that he was down there when it happened, and he would not allow her. Now that's believable that happened. That's sad. NeNe
Yeah.
closed swag stores down
That's
without telling her
definitely a
employees,
lawsuit waiting to happen. I hope she got some good employment
and they
insurance. I'm
still
sure
trying
she
to collect unemployment. Well, if they can't collect unemployment, that means NeNe wasn't paying unemployment insurance on them. But I didn't think you
that
could.
likely is. Yep, she probably had everybody listed as an independent contractor.
Yeah.
That's a real good way to get audited. We don't need those problems. No, we don't
Yeah,
need
because
that.
I mean, if the store closed, you showed up for work one day and the store was just closed. Seemed to me like that should be easy breezy unemployment, especially since that was during the pandemic. Hell, they was barely asking people to verify their phone number during the pandemic. They was just like, here you go. You lost your job. Here you go. Here go an extra $800 a month on top. I mean,
I appreciated that. Ooh, that extra 600 that hit me right. Oh no, it was extra 2,400. Yes, I was really grateful.
Yeah, that thing. Listen, that thing. My sister was the same way. My sister. They reduced her hours because they were like, well, we still want to try to keep you on. But she told them, she said, listen, my son's daycare closed. She said, honestly, I'm making more money staying at home. I appreciate y'all trying to, help keep me on payroll, but I'm making more money staying at home, collecting unemployment and the extra. And then she got the extra because she had a baby. She had my nephew. So it was cheaper for her to just stay home with him during the pandemic.
Absolutely. Yes. And then not give him the Rona. I don't blame her.
So Kathy, okay, so that's the one here in Maryland. Kathy said the swag at MGM National Harbor employees are still trying to get their employment. That's the one that I went to. That's the one I'm talking. Matter of fact, I could probably still find the picture somewhere on my phone. Because I bought one of them old cheap t-shirts. I gave it to my niece.
But that's terrible. I'm so sorry that happened. But it may have also coincided with the pandemic. And we all know how that was death for many clothing stores and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
It may have been, child. You never know. And again, that's probably that's probably reasonable that it has something to do with that. That's probably very reasonable. Unfortunately.
Oh, and also, let's not forget when we talk about people who running out of money, let's not forget about Po Little, Ari, and Moneybag. Oh goodness!
Well, give us the Ari and Moneybag breakdown.
Yes. Can you give me one quick second? Hold on. I need to plug my computer in. Hold on.
Sure.
I'm wearing shorts, so excuse me. I got my gym shorts on.
You okay? You fine. Look at my pool. Let me see. I heard they closed every restaurant. I looked high and low for it when it hurt my feelings to know they were gone. What restaurant? I must have missed something. It's fine they closed, but she could have called her employees and given them a heads up. Yeah. My mom is still trying to get her unemployment. Dang, I did not realize there was people that still wasn't getting their unemployment. I did not realize that. Wow. Okay. Y'all teaching me stuff. I didn't know that.
I don't understand that. Like, how do you not get unemployment? Hold on, let me see that again.
I don't understand it either. I don't understand how people are getting their unemployment. I mean, again, I believe y'all because y'all ain't got no reason to lie. But I just didn't understand. I don't understand it.
Because I thought the only way that it could be is if the employer is listing them as independent contractors and not employees, because otherwise it automatically comes from each check. That would be the only thing that I can envision. Yeah, because I use ADP. ADP don't play. It comes out of each thing. It's not an optional thing. Not at all.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, so we got about another 15, 20 minutes. So you want to
Oh,
give us
did you want to
the Ari
open
breakdown?
the link to everybody?
I did. I dropped the link. I'll drop it again. I'm gonna drop the link one more time.
Gotcha. If anybody has any questions, so it can just be about something going on in pop culture, something going on that a situation you saw on social media, just whatever you like, and we can just talk about like advice. Obviously, I'm a lawyer, but I may not be your specific lawyer, but we could definitely talk about it. But I wanted to talk about poor little Ari and Moneybag Yo. Allegedly, they've broken up, and he has stuck her with over 100 and I think it's $150,000 worth of car payments still left over for her Lamborghini.
Ooh.
Yes, so now the Lamborghini dealer is actually suing both Moneybag and Ari for the remaining payments, even though he got it for her as a birthday gift in 2019.
Gotta watch out for them leases.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Because, and then now, give a thumbs up if you listen to K Michelle or you like her music. Because one thing about K Michelle is K Michelle, she reminds me of myself, right? She will drop nuggets of facts about people, and people will be like, "You're a hater," because whatever the truth is she's sharing is like not necessarily great news. So she dropped the fact that he didn't buy her the car, he rented her the car. He paid like $100,000 for it, and then she doesn't even own it. And about, I don't know, or about a year ago, people were like, "You're a liar and you're a hater." Da, 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 da. Well, the lawsuit currently filed against Ari has confirmed that K Michelle was correct. That is exactly what happened. And what's the most messed up about it is, so allegedly, Ari and Moneybag have broken up. She made the posting. Did you see the Twitter posting she made saying that she's single?
Yeah.
So she made a post, right, stating that she's single. And then it appears that, she may have posted it long after they actually broke up, right? Because they break up all the time and then they get back together. She may have thought that would have been the case, but they've apparently been broken up quite a while, to where he stopped making payments on her Lamborghini. So of course I talked to my fiance about this, who's a luxury car dealer. He sells those. And I was like, "Babe, are they suing her to get the car back, or are they for non-payment, or are they just suing her for damages?" Because I saw an exchange on the page Gossip in the City where people had a heated discussion saying, "No, Ari hasn't missed a payment or money hasn't missed a payment. This is just the Lamborghini company trying to get the car back for damages because they wrapped the car." No, and no. They are literally $150,000 behind on payments.
Oh.
And what's even worse, Ari took the car out under her business's name. She signed the petition, specifically states that she signed it under her business credit, it didn't say business credit, but it said under her business, and signed her name. So it appears that once they broke up, he was like, "Fine, you pay it. Go ahead." But part of the issue I have is, hold up, but she gave you for your birthday 29 acres of land. You gonna give her that back?
See? That's yeah.
You take this leased vehicle that you done gave me a note for, and you give me the land. Little stupid.
People are crazy. See, that's the thing. And that's why we got to stop living in this Instagram world and stop believing what we think is real, and start realizing. I don't remember who it was. No, yes, it is, because it was Black China. And remember when Black China and Rob Kardashian, they was all cool and they was giving each other cars and da 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 da. And the minute they broke up, he took them cars back because they were leases. He didn't
Right.
buy a car. He leased the cars.
So someone said was it like a lease to buy kind of deal? Well, all leases at the conclusion have a balloon payment, right?
Right.
And that balloon payment is specifically to let you know if you want to own this car, all you have to do is either make the balloon payment or refinance it, meaning getting a note to pay that balloon payment.
Right.
But yeah, that's always the case with the lease. And with leases, you actually can personalize it. Generally, you'll personalize it before you get the car. And so that's why here the issue wasn't that the car was wrapped. It's just like when you're leasing an apartment, right? If you have an apartment lease, let's say you have a 2-year lease and you want to go in and you want to paint the walls. They'll say, all right, you can paint the walls, you can do whatever. But on the day you got to give me back the property, it got to look just like how I gave you.
Right.
Same thing with the car, right?
You can wrap it, but you got to unwrap it.
Right. So some people were like, oh, they're just suing her for wrapping it. They don't do that. Car dealerships don't ride around town trying to be like, who added rims on their vehicle? No.
Right.
You can do whatever you want.
Because that's the thing about those leases. The leases are decent for people and that don't really do a lot of driving and do a lot of wear and tear, because those balloon payments, because they add in mileage, because you get a certain amount. Because a friend of mine got caught up in that. They got a lease, and at the end of that lease, that mileage kicked their butt.
Right.
It was cheaper for them to just buy the car.
Yep. They actually have these leases. I love them. I used to bank with PenFed, Pentagon Federal Credit Union, but many other banks have it too. They're called Power Saver Loans. And how it works is you get all the benefits of a lease, because what you're getting is a note with a balloon payment at the end. Because the expectation is that at the end of 5 years, you're probably going to switch it out for a different car anyway. So that's one way where you can get both of the benefits. But Angelica asked a great question. She said, why would you buy a man some land and you ain't married?
Why they do half the stuff they do for these people they ain't married to.
Listen, y'all remember when it first happened that she bought him the land on The Real, they discussed it. Garcelle Bouvet discussed it along with Lonnie Love, and they said the exact same thing. They said, wow, that was really nice of her, but I would never buy such an expensive gift or a gift like that for someone I wasn't married to, because it's 28 acres, like that's 29 acres. That's a lot. That's the trailer park. That's an apartment complex, variety. But they drug them for saying, hey, I wouldn't do that, if I wasn't married. And instead, Ari was like, well, that's why you ain't even got no man, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And here she is in this messed up situation that he has put her in, where, again, she took her money, she bought him an appreciating investment, and he took his money and didn't even buy her a depreciating investment. I say didn't even buy it because he leased it. And here's what's the worst part of it. With leases, this is different from homes. With leases, you cannot be on the ownership paperwork without also being on the debt paperwork. So that means by, oh boy, missing all of these payments, he has now ruined her credit. He has messed up her credit. Yes.
Oh, hell no.
So it impacts both her business and her personal credit potentially. Because remember, she took this out under her business credit, which means y'all, we got to quit fooling with these hood dudes who be dragging us through some stuff. He went and he used her good business credit, because I'm sure she got an interest rate much better than whatever he probably could get. But then by him not making payments, and y'all know how men do, they don't make the payments for a while, and then they don't tell you till they about 3 months back.
That's right, Kathy. Play silly games, win silly prizes, honey. So shout out to Simply Sakina, who is in the chat. Remember, that is where we're going to be at 9:15-ish for the Whether You Like It or Not panel. Y'all, if you still in the chat or one of my mods, can y'all make sure y'all drop Sakina's link to her channel so everybody know where to find us. We will be discussing Sunday night's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta and Friday night's episode of Bell Collective, honey. Y'all know what it is over there. Y'all know we have a good time. Okay, even though we gotta go to Sakina's house, and I know Sakina's house is the hood because she
lives in DC.
What you trying to say about DC?
Well, no, you said you could go to her house. I know you live.
Oh no, I'm joking. I mean her YouTube channel. No, we clown Sakina because we on the panel. All of us have like the premium version of StreamYard, and she got the basic version. So we say when we go to her house, we say we're going to the hood because she don't have none of the. She don't have none of the like. You forget how many of these things you could do on StreamYard because you pay for the premium. You forget about the basic, and you be like, "Oh, you can't do that over here. Oh, you can't do that on your StreamYard." You forget how much you paying for.
That's too funny.
Sakina say, "Not me being in the hood."
Sakina, where do you live? Where are you based?
She's down in Atlanta.
Oh, cool. Okay.
There's her link, y'all, to her channel. Listen, and Sakina is vegan, so we can't even get no meat at her house either. She be trying to feed us bean pies and stuff. But yeah, no, we just joke about that.
Good. They taste like sweet potatoes.
See, Sakina said I got basic cable. See, Golden says she doing her best. Leave her alone. Okay, y'all keep believing that. Sakina she like candy. She cheap now. She spend money on what she want to spend her money on. Okay. All right, y'all. We got about 10 more minutes. Please drop and like Simone said, it could be any question. Any celebrity questions or just law questions in general. I did put her information. If you don't want to say it publicly, you have her email, you have her website, and you have her phone number. And like she said the last time, if she cannot help you, she can absolutely point you in the right direction. In the state of Texas, she absolutely can help you. But remember, her specialty is in say it again because I
injury and expungements.
Injury and expungement. So you got that boyfriend you dating and y'all can't get a house together because he got that thing on his credit. I mean, because he did something he wasn't supposed to do when he was 20. Y'all gonna call her up and let her take care of that so y'all can live happily ever after. Okay.
Exactly.
Or he trying to get that good job, but you can't get that clearance because you got that thing that you did a little while ago when you was young, dumb. Go on and get her to take care of that for you. Okay. Listen. We all done made some mistakes, honey. Some just stuck around a little longer than others. But y'all go ahead.
Exactly.
And let her handle it for y'all.
Yes. We help good people who've had bad run-ins with the law. That's all. Had a bad experience.
Okay, Casmine said, I'm definitely going to reach out to Simone because I had an issue with Southwest Airlines. You better go on and talk to her. You better go and talk to her.
Give me a call.
2 questions. Do we have an update on Wendy? And then somebody asked, do you think NeNe's lawsuit is working in her favor? So you can do any updates on Wendy. I know they tried to say that her son stole $100,000 on her Amex or whatever.
Okay, so yes, I've heard the recent story, and I've seen the recent stories about her son allegedly stealing $100K on her Amex. I don't believe it. Sorry, you need more people. Because remember, when she initially was trying to get power back over her stuff, she said, all right, you guys won't give me my own power of attorney. I will set my son up as power of attorney. And they went and they said, no, ma'am, no, sir. What I believe is that she likely gave that son her credit card, her Amex card, and said, hey, since I don't have access to my bank account right now, while I'm going through all this stuff with Wells Fargo, I need you to go and make these purchases because they are not allowing me to make certain purchases. I think she is trying to throw him under the bus because it sounds like whoever the guardian is who's evaluating her financial spending and everything else has some issues with the spending. So what's the easiest thing to do? Blame it on somebody else.
Okay. I didn't believe her son did it either, honestly, but I did. I'm gonna tell you what I thought. I thought maybe the son was somehow in cahoots with the big Kevin.
Absolutely.
But was being manipulated. But I didn't think that he was just out doing her wrong. Now I didn't believe that. I did not believe that.
Yeah, no. Because I think that, I'm going to turn this light down. Because I think that Big Kevin was originally who was moving all the strings anyway. When he saw that she was getting sicker, this and that, he is the reason why Wells Fargo rang the alarm. Because the Wells Fargo agent knew that the two of them had divorced. And so when he's coming into the bank with her, trying to say, okay, well, give me this money and do this and do that, he's stupid. When I say he's stupid, he may be good at certain business things, but he don't have good common sense, because he assumed that the banker that they had, who was the same banker that they'd used for like 15 years while married, he just assumed, oh, she knows me, she's going to give me the money. No, stupid. She knows what you have put her through. Now, maybe if that banker was a white man who didn't care nothing about us, he could have got away with it. But I think because that banker was a female, she knew, like, this woman's going through a divorce. She's supposed to not be okay. And the last thing she's going to want is for her ex-husband, who's got this baby up here down the street, to have access to her millions. And that's what rang the alarm and what stopped everything. Little stupid. He's so stupid. I want him. If he went to jail, I wouldn't even be mad. Oh, Kevin.
And what about the question, do you think NeNe's lawsuit worked in her favor?
Well, if NeNe is able to end up with a show or another opportunity to come to be on television and be in control to some extent as to what is produced and how it looks, then absolutely it's worked in her favor.
Okay.
And my expectation is that she's going to come out with some type of show. And like you said, I think it should be one around one of her stores. It should not be. Remember, before she wanted a talk show. Hell no. Hell no. Those are very difficult. We saw how Bethany, it didn't work well for Bethany. She right. And her ensemble need to go make this food and irritate people at her ghetto restaurant. That's what they need to do. Okay. Go burn up some food on television and talk crazy to people like you usually do, and go tell them to go sit down somewhere. That would be great.
Now, do you think that the Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, do you think it's going to actually end up going to trial, or you think they'll be able to settle it before it gets there?
Babe, will you get this light? It's being weird. Here we go. Angelina is just getting weirder and weirder as she gets older. She's just getting stranger and stranger. So I wouldn't put it past her, because she's almost Amber Heard strange. You know what I'm talking about? That's a whole lot of white woman strange. You got to do some weird white woman shit to be, on that level. And she started off like a real nice white lady, adopting the babies from Africa and stuff. I like that.
Stealing the babies from Africa. Okay.
Well, they were borrowed. Didn't nobody else want them, So she said, here you go. But at the point when she's doing all of this to make it more difficult for them to see their dad, who is otherwise equally as weird as she is, it's kind of like literally the pot calling the kettle black. Like, lady, you're a weirdo, and you're trying to keep your kids from the weirdo that you stole from somebody else who was minding her business. Mm-hmm. Well, this is just weird all the way around. You're just going to end up with some weird drama. And so I think that the issue with Angelina, I think, is she's never been told, since she's become a celebrity, she's never been told no. And that she cannot have what she wants. Even Brad, let's think about this. Even Brad gave her what she wanted, which was him. And he was married.
Very married.
He was very married. She's been able to have every married man she's wanted. She's been able to have every movie, every casting she's ever wanted, every child that she's ever wanted, no matter the continent. And so now for a court to say, hey, you can't have the visitation structure you want. You actually have to share with somebody you no longer like. That's not going to sit well with her. And she's about to act a whole freaking fool. She's about to act a fool.
Okay, so you think it could actually go all the way to court?
I think so. Because at this point, it started in 2019, 19, 20, 20. That's 4 years. That's a long time for a divorce where you've already been adjudicated single. They were adjudicated single in 2019. That means that all they're fighting over is at this point is the kids. And these are kids who are, like I said, big enough to say, Mama, I want to go over daddy's house.
Right.
Quit being a weirdo, lady. And I don't think she knows how.
Okay.
Somebody said a modern day Elizabeth Taylor.
Listen, I mean, I feel like that's where we're going to be. I feel like that's where we're headed with Kanye and Kim Kardashian. I don't know if that divorce is ever going to be final. He just fired his fifth attorney a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if that divorce is ever going to be final.
Who keeps signing up to be his lawyer? That's what I would like to know.
He must be paying a hell of a retainer. I don't know.
And stop doing because at this point, I know sometimes people like to sign, or attorneys like to sign up to represent celebs. They think it's going to be good publicity. It's not good publicity at this point. If you're Kanye lawyer number 6, what that says is you're desperate and have poor judgment. Get a life.
Child.
Go take a pro bono case. Leave people alone.
Okay. Last couple of questions. Have you been keeping up with Martell and Melody Holt from Love and Marriage Huntsville?
I have. Oh.
What are your thoughts on their situation? I mean, I know that's a broad question, but
right. All right. What I think is that he is a very dumb human being. Oh, I'm getting in trouble. All right. I think he's operating in emotion and not in logic. Mm-hmm. I think that when you choose to do what I consider is the ultimate betrayal, which is have a baby on your wife, when you choose to have a baby on your wife, you don't get to dictate who she dates, how she dates, or what she dates after the day she knows you do that. I don't care if you were still married on the day she finds out that you did that. You don't get to say, well, I caught you at Burger King eating a Whopper with Samuel from the church. So freaking what? And here, what I think, so they said that Melody was the creator of Love and Marriage Huntsville, in that she hired her own crew. She believed in their story. She believed in their purpose. She hired her own crew. She paid to have them videotaped, and then she developed it, packaged it, and presented it, right? And that one of her dream kind of types of shows to be on was Housewives. So what I think is this. I think that Martell is trying to get back at her in many ways, but one of the things he wants to do is be on Housewives as a cast member with Sheree. But what I think would be the real kicker is he's going to have Melody on an episode, right? He's going to, for everything. And then Melody is going to steal the show because she's fascinating and she's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And we want to hear what she has to say. And she's representative of so many of us who are tired of the BS, right? And she could very easily go on one episode, steal the show, and be a recurring cast member and give him a real, true FU.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And
so what about, okay, we don't have time to get too deep into this. Well, real quick, Kathy Smith, you must have missed when we talked about NeNe at the beginning. What Simone said was that there wasn't a cash settlement. The question was, if NeNe received a cash settlement, how was she able to bring the same case back to court if needed? So that's what Simone was saying, that if it had been a cash settlement, then it would have been with prejudice because it would have been a done deal. But what she's speculating is that, they're negotiating something for NeNe, maybe her own show, maybe a promise of a development of a show or something like that. And that's why there's without prejudice, because if that falls through, or if NeNe doesn't feel like they're negotiating in good faith, then she can bring it back. But that's what she said. She said that she doesn't believe that there was a cash settlement, because then it would be no reason for the judge to, when there's a cash settlement, it's dismissed with prejudice because it's over.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly why something has to be done. And what I believe has to be done is they have to do something with respect to allowing her to pitch or present a television project, because that's what she truly wants, is to be back in front of her audience.
So, Todd and Julie Chrisley. Now today, they did file an appeal saying that Emily D. Baker did do an update today saying, I was listening to some of it where they were able to prove that some of the testimony that was given was fraudulent. Now the government hasn't responded, so they may have a good reason. But one of the things was that the woman from the IRS testified that they owed back taxes, and come to find out that not only did they not owe back taxes, but they were owed a refund because they had overpaid. That was just one of the things, but there were a couple of other examples. So I don't know if that's something we can follow up with next time and get deeper into that, but go ahead.
We absolutely can. So we can follow up on that next time. But the gist of it, though, is this. Trump, with all of his wonderful Christian, God-loving appointees, what they have ruled very recently this summer is that even if you're innocent, that's not grounds that are good enough for you to get off of the death penalty. So you can just imagine, even if you're innocent and it's a tax evasion case, that's not good enough grounds for your case to be appealed in this instance. One of the things that has to happen is it has to be some type of evidence that was not available to your attorney at the time of the trial. So if this was something that their lawyer could have discovered, even though he didn't, could have discovered, and then could have presented at trial, they are screwed. Thank you to Trump. And this is why I need everybody to vote. And this is why we must expand the court. And we'll talk about that on another day.
So so the next time we'll give some up. That'll be, I'm gonna put that on my list. That'll be the first case that we discuss, and that'll give Simone time to get into it. And maybe by then the government will have yeah, I love them too. And maybe that'll give us, maybe by then the government will have submitted their response, and then we can maybe dig into that. Thank you guys for being here. I saw some new names in the chat. I hope you stay, subscribe to the channel. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Kathy Smith, thank you for all the information that you provided us as far as NeNe is concerned. You sound like you got the inside scoop, buddy. Thank you to my mods who were here. And please hit that like button. And again, hitting that like button and subscribing, it is free 99, child. It's free 99. Again, I can't promise you how often, but we definitely are going to make Simone a regular part of our rotation over here. We love her. We love the information. We love the shade, honey. And now that you have been fired from wedding planning, we know you got some time for us.
Right. He's over here listening. He's like,
Exactly. Rashad, listen, we love you, Rashad. You work with her. Just work with her, man.
Absolutely. Just work with me. Oh,
listen, as somebody who has adult ADHD, I get it. Listen, it ain't easy. People don't get it. People don't understand. But
and also, Crystal, don't forget, you better turn in your student loan paperwork.
No, it's a wrap. It's done. I called today. I stayed home from work today because I've been sick. And I went yesterday because it was the first day of school, and I probably shouldn't have. If it weren't the first day of school, I would not have gone. If this was a regular school day, I would not have gone. But I woke up today, and my body was like, look, hooker. And so I literally, when I say I was in bed all day, like I got up this morning, I called in sick, I ate some breakfast, I took some medicine, I laid down, and I probably was back in bed no later than 9:30, 10 o'clock. No later than 10 o'clock. And when I tell you that I literally just got out of bed at 5:30, I was asleep all day.
Oh, you needed that rest.
Yeah, I must have, because I didn't take any medicine. I didn't take any medicine that would make me drowsy. Right. I didn't take any. So it was legit sleep. It wasn't like I took something that put me to sleep, because I woke up with this really bad headache. So I took some Excedrin. And then I took the medicine that the doctors gave me. I went to urgent care Saturday, and then I hit my inhaler a couple of times because I couldn't breathe. I laid down, and when I say, I mean, other than going to the bathroom and getting back in the bed, I didn't eat. I didn't do nothing. So I was listening to Emily Baker. Like, you know how you wake up. So I was listening and I fell asleep. So that's why I said I didn't hear all of it, because shout out, I fell asleep. But I heard that much of it. I'm gonna have to go back and listen again. But see, Golden said my new husband tried to take over our wedding planning too. Mm-hmm. You know them nukes, boy. Them nukes gonna get you together though. But the nukes gonna have you clean. But the nukes gonna have you clean though.
You're gonna be looking real pretty wherever you at though.
Listen, my best friend, one of my best friends, he's a Q, and he took over his wedding planning. So you know the colors was purple and gold. You know, there was like a Jack Daniels fountain at the reception. Instead of like a punch fountain, it was a Jack Daniels fountain at the reception. Oh. Listen, let me tell you something. Perfect. I can't tell you how drunk we were at that reception. But listen, it was a cute kind of party.
There you go, girl. Well, this is wonderful. Let me know when you're ready to do it again.
No problem. You know I will. Great. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good evening, and I will talk to y'all later. And don't people in the chat, meet me in about 20 minutes over on Sakina's channel. All right?
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thanks.